Record this meeting. Okay. So thank you guys for coming out again. My name is Whitney Kiles, and I'll be presenting to you the Lexis Medical Navigator tool. And so to make sure that you can access Medical Navigator, when you first sign online to Lexis, what you'll want to do is go to these dots up here at the top. Once again, this is your product switcher menu. This is where you can find any additional products that the firm subscribes to outside of Lexis. And so you'll notice that Medical Navigator is listed right here. So then you would just click on Medical Navigator, and then you'll be brought to the home page. Now, once you are on the home page, you'll notice that there's a search box here. Within the search box, it says enter a medical dashboard topic. So you can type in the particular med-mal issue that you're wanting research on, or you can scroll down to the bottom, and these are going to be the top litigated med-mal issues. You can also select this link right here that says view all medical topics if you do not see your particular issue mentioned in this dashboard. Now for today's example, I'm going to do cancer screening and diagnosis. And so I would just hit the drop down arrow next to that particular illness, and then you'll find the top litigated cancers listed below. And I'm just going to select breast cancer. Now, once you've clicked on your applicable topic, you'll be brought to your dashboard. Now, your dashboard will list out the main pods that are listed up here as well. And after we go through each pod, what will happen is your research will be saved on your dashboard. And then you could also decide to print, email, or download your results, or you can save your research to a folder, just like you can save your research to folders on the traditional Lexis homepage. So let's first start with case value assessment. Now, what case value assessment does for you is it's essentially a questionnaire, and you're essentially putting in your client's fact pattern within these questions. And the assessment will show you the jury verdicts that match your particular client's facts. And so if I scroll down, the very first question is select a state to set the jurisdiction. So let's say our client is located in New York, then I would select New York, submit answer. Our second question wants to know how old was our client at the time of the incident. Let's say they were between the ages of 50 to 59. We'll submit that answer. Now, as you're answering questions, your question and answers will be listed below. And then you've probably noticed that this chart appeared on the side. This is showing you the jury verdicts that are matching the answers that you're providing. And so I'll answer another question. So our third question says, has the plaintiff settled separately with other defendants? Let's say we answer no for that. Submit the answer. And so once you've finished this questionnaire, you'll have a list of all your verdicts, your jury verdicts, and then you can either click on any verdicts that interest you, or once again, this information will be saved to your dashboard and you can look at it at a later time. Now, up here at the top, it says selected topic. This is the breast cancer topic that we've been answering questions on. There's also an option right here called related topic. And so if you wanted to find verdicts on related topics, these are the three main topics right here. So like if I were to go to procedure as an example, these would be the procedures within breast cancer. And so if I went to radiation therapy as an example, this would then bring us to the jury verdicts that match that particular topic. So that is essentially case value assessment. It's giving you the jury verdicts that are most applicable to your particular client's fact pattern based on the answers that you provide the questions. Next, let's look at standard of care. So the standard of care analysis, essentially, it's another questionnaire, and it will let you know if there's any deviations, or so think negligence. Now, if I scroll down, you have your first question here. This particular question says, with which of the following symptoms did the patient present? And so this is going to give you the different symptoms that your client could have mentioned to you when they discovered they had breast cancer. So let's say if we did skin swelling, you can submit that answer. Before I hit submit answer, what's nice is right below, this will tell you why this particular question is important. And it's derived out of this source, which is a scientific publication. So now I'm just going to hit submit answer. And then over here on the side where you have the actual standard of care analysis, if you see a green dot appear after you've answered a question, then it's telling you that that answer was a non-issue. On the latter, if you see a red dot, then it's letting you know that it is an issue. So for example, our second question says, was a medical history obtained? If I answer no to this question, it shows up as being an issue. And if I click on show details, once again, this is a scientific publication source, and this is letting me know why this is an issue. You can also, as you're going through these questions, I know this particular questionnaire is a little bit long, but you can click view upcoming questions. So you can just have the questions on hand before you even answer them in the system. And so that is the standard of care analysis. Now let's go to legal analysis. So legal analysis is another questionnaire. And essentially, as you fill out the questions, it's going to take you to case law results that answer what you're looking for in this questionnaire. So for example, this particular question says, which New York medical malpractice topic would you like to research? If I were to click on statutes of limitations, hit submit answer. Once again, we have why this question is important. We have the particular source. This looks like the statute. Our second question says, which statute of limitations issue would you like to research? Let's say if I did statute of limitations for adult plaintiff's claims, hit submit answer. I now come here to the side. I can see that that was all the questions to be answered for that particular legal analysis. Here we have a search query of what was put into Lexis to get us to our 7 case results. And if I want to view those results right now, I can just hit this blue button and this will take us out to those 7 results. We next have our expert witness tab. Now, we've discussed context in earlier sessions, so the expert witness tab will bring you back out to context. And you'll notice that your other entity types pop up as well, but this is only focusing on experts. So if you were to click on these other tabs, it's going to come up with no results. And so let me go back to experts by area of expertise. And I believe this one is already defaulted down to oncologists. Yeah, based on breast cancer. And so if I come over here to the side, oncology has already been selected under area of expertise. If I want to narrow it down by the jurisdiction for the expert witness, you can do that. The hiring party is mentioned already in the results, but if you want to focus solely on a particular hiring party to just filter through these results, you can definitely do that. And then essentially, this is just a way to find an expert that maybe you need to hire on an expert, or if you just want to vet out an expert that was used on the other side, the expert tab is really useful for that. Now with research parties, this will take you out into public records. So I'm going to skip research parties tab, but this is what it does. It's just public records if you want to do like a people search as an example. The next tab is the Elsevier clinical key. And so if you've ever looked up WebMD as an example, this is like WebMD, but like 100 times better. And so this will show you some of the additional medical topics within breast cancer or other cancers in general. And so let's say our client is a female and they have breast cancer. I can click on breast cancer in females. I'm just waiting for this or my computer to finish loading. Okay. And so within this particular Elsevier clinical key, you can jump to a synopsis of breast cancer in females. You can jump to terminology that's used, diagnosis information. If I scroll further down, you can find out information such as treatment, complications and prognosis, and screening and prevention. And this is written by nurse practitioners. And so I say that because it's written in a very, very user-friendly manner. Oftentimes, medical journals can be written in such a very unique way where only other doctors could understand it. So this is written for attorneys. So that way it is accessible information where you don't necessarily need someone to interpret the information for you. And then our last tab is medical references. So with medical references, this is going to take you out to the scientific information that you can find on Lexis. This will include full text journals as well as high resolution images. So if you were looking for an image to use in a deposition, or not a deposition, but a trial, then you can find images on our system. By default, it puts you into references. So this is where you can find the full text journals. This is the search query that was used to get you these particular full text publications. Just as in the Lexis homepage, you have your filtering options here on the side. And then if I go to illustrations, this is where you can find those 3D images. We pull our images from the Netter collection of medical illustrations, as well as Archie MD 3D medical images. And so this is where you would go if you're looking for imaging information. And now I want to go back to the dashboard. And I want to point out that, as you can see, this is our saved information. And then if I go back out to the main homepage, if you are not finding your main litigated topic within these already pre-populated topics, by clicking on view all medical topics, this will take you out to that Elsevier clinical key, which is that WebMD, the WebMD analogy that I gave earlier, where you can search for any illness in here, and then it'll have, the prognosis, the treatment, all that information in here. And so that is essentially Medical Navigator. And I did mute everyone just so there wouldn't be any background noise. So if you do have any questions at this time, please feel free to unmute yourself and you can ask your questions now. All right. Well, it doesn't sound like there are any questions at this time. So as always, I will send you guys a follow-up email that just kind of recaps what we discussed. And I want to thank you guys again for coming out for today's webinar session on how to search efficiently and effectively on Medical Navigator. Thank you guys very much and hope you have a great rest of the day.